6. Roll call.
Bernard Clark's here.
Bernard Clark here. Present. Pavel Levin. Here. We have Jack McFarland. Nice to see you, Jack.
Hey, Pablo, nice to see you too.
We met.
I have not.
No, I need to get. These two guys are just watching, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
members.
And you got Hiram.
And Hiram. Zoom. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Everybody else is absent.
So we have 4, we're meeting. You need a pen?
Yeah, my pen's not working
Um,
very well.
But we can't be a quorum, so we can't vote.
Okay, then I'm just gonna present then, and then we'll vote on it later. Okay, that's fine. So, here's an agenda. Oh.
I've
you
got
already-
one of those, they were here.
Oh, okay, wow, somebody already took care of it. Guys, I have an agenda. Do you guys have it? Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're done with the roll call. Minutes. Okay, I didn't bring in the minutes.
Hard to approve them then.
Shoot, and we didn't send them?
Were they posted?
Yeah, they were.
Then they were sent. I haven't seen them.
So we can't vote.
Can't vote
We
anyway.
can't vote anyway. Okay, so we actually, can't, no quorum. Okay, so we're off the hook. Okay, excellent. Well, not excellent, but whatever.
Public comment.
Public comment.
Is there anybody here or online that wants to say anything?
For a second.
I don't think there's anybody here or online that wants to say anything, so we've offered, but no takers. Next item.
Okay, next item is Ookla data coverage map development. Okay, so this is my item, and okay, I'm green. Perfect. So I had a discussion with,
There's Danica, we could be 5.
oh, Danica, hi.
Hi, I just got the Zoom link. Thank you, Jack.
Is that quorum?
I think 5 is a quorum. I'm not 100% sure. Aaron, do you think 5 is a quorum?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Since we're not, we can't consider it that, right?
All right, yeah, if we don't know, then we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, then moving on. Okay, so going back to item number 4, Ookla data coverage map development. Okay, so I had a conversation with the New Canaan IT department, and it turns out that our IT department does not directly manage the website. There's this company called Revise that
That's fine.
It's
I'll
fine.
make do.
Okay.
You need better.
Revise that's doing the website maintenance for us. And also with that in mind, it's sort of a little rudimentary in the sense that they've never deployed an app on their server. So that's something that's kind of unexplored territory, and they weren't really advising us to go with that. A simpler way to go was to have our own cloud hosted app, and then Revise would simply link up to that app. So that's really easy to do. And so them and I converged on that solution. So unless anybody has any sort of concerns about that, you know, I can present the budget that that I came up with that strategy in mind. So essentially, we control the cloud instance where we deploy the app, and then Revise just simply links up to the published URL of that app. All right, sounds pretty simple. Okay, so with that in mind, we're gonna need, one thing is the domain name, which is $45, and that's a 3-year term, and it would renew. So $45 is for 3 years, and in 3 years it renews at $70. So these are very small amounts, right? Then we also need the SSL certificate to secure it. That's about $210, also for 3 years. In 3 years it renews. The price might be higher, but GoDaddy doesn't actually tell you what the certificate is going to be like. It's not going to be much higher. Like it's going to be maybe, you know, $400 or something like that. Then the next thing is, and the last thing is the instance on, I like using DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is, I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a cloud system. And what it is just a cheaper thing that exists on top of AWS, which is the Amazon cloud. Because Amazon, it's sort of, the costs get out of control pretty quickly. And more importantly, we don't need it, because with Amazon, with AWS, the big thing that you get is the serverless solutions. We don't need a serverless solution. We're not going to be spinning up multiple instances depending on the usage. You know, all that complexity is extra money that we just simply don't require. We're going to get a single instance. It's basically like an equivalent of EC2 or something like that. On DigitalOcean, it's called Droplet. So Droplet is an EC2. That's what it is. And so that costs $360 per year. So again, very minimal costs. And that's going to give us sufficient storage, memory, all that stuff. So it's all good. So essentially, my estimate that to deploy this app is going to cost us about $445 a year.
45, 210, and 360.
Well, 45 for 3 years. So
Oh.
I basically took $15.
Gotcha,
Then I
gotcha.
took
Thank you.
about 70 from the second charge. And then the third number is the yearly. So I said, okay, so let's make it $445 per year. And that's kind of what we're looking at.
Seemed like reasonable numbers.
Right? I think it's a good solution. And it's obviously, you know, it's secure. And I feel like it's a great thing for us because we can control it. Actually, I was happy when they told me that, you know, oh, you know, I don't have to hand it over to Revise or any other vendor, because then it becomes complicated. You know, then the deployment, we don't control deployment at that point, and that's always problematic. You know, somebody finds an issue, okay, you have to go through all the deployment steps, and God knows what, you know, what that's like. Here, you know, we discover an issue or somebody wants something added to it, we just go add it, redeploy, bam, you know, perfect. So, I mean, I like it. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts? We lost Danica.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh. Yay. Okay. How much did you miss?
No, I was listening. I just
Awesome. Okay.
my kids. No, I think
No
no, I mean
worries.
I think that the it sounds like a reasonable amount to spend.
And you don't see any like issues or anything like that with the build itself, like it's good,
No,
right? It's
I don't think
simple.
I think it seems pretty reasonable, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we can't vote on it, so I guess I'm not sure where we go with that.
Well, Hiram was saying earlier, we might have to call a special meeting
Special meeting,
in
okay,
between now and the next one too. But that's up to Sven, I think, to
perfect.
coordinate that.
So we'll ask Sven if we can arrange a special meeting where we can vote to take a vote.
Do you have a quorum? We do have a quorum.
We do have,
5 is a quorum.
I asked Tucker.
oh,
Why don't we take a provisional vote and see what Sven has to say afterwards? I mean, that way at
Okay.
least it's moved forward, but
I'll-
then we don't have to have the special meeting
okay,
unless we have to.
okay, that, I like that, okay, so I like how you think. Let's do it. Okay, guys, so, who's in?
Raise hands, I guess. Seems unanimous by all
Unanimous.
5. What a salesperson you are, Pablo.
Oh my goodness, if all my sales pitches were that easy, you guys are. Okay, perfect. All right, well, that was fast. Do you guys have any questions?
What's the next step then? If we've all said yes to this, you then go to,
I think Sven needs to give me some sort of a charge codes where we can actually, like, I can charge GoDaddy costs, the DigitalOcean costs, so that I can actually pay for things and get the ball rolling.
once you're paid for things, you're actually gonna do it.
Yeah,
So, okay. So yes, your next step is to talk to Sven and that way you'll get his thoughts anyway and you'll get the okay. for
exactly.
Forms.
He has the budget, I already found out, and
Good. That was my only question.
right, because my impression first, I spoke to Diona and she wasn't aware that he had a budget, so she said, oh, we need to submit a proposal because this is not, this might come out of contingency costs,
Mhm.
so you need to do the full, like invoice and all that stuff and get the approvals, and turns out the commission actually has money.
So that simplified it.
Yeah, we can just vote on it and pay for it and
Right.
move on.
Well, you have your vote, you have your budget.
Yay. All right. Okay, so the agenda item number 5 is Sven.
Sven, since he's not here, I guess we're gonna have to hold that off to the next meeting.
Yep. Okay. Okay, then other commission items.
I don't have anything to bring up. Do you, any of you 3 online have an issue you wanted to mention? Hiram does.
Yeah, I'll go and I wanted to talk to Sven and others a little bit more about this, but just in terms of, obviously, the strides that have been made here and being implemented with this budget is fantastic. And I wanted to just go back a little bit and think about for, the members here about what our next priorities can be. And so a year ago, we had, I think about a year ago, we provided some comments to and did a review of the POCD process and priorities of the city in terms of what were the goals and targets. And there's a portion of it that that did relate to utilities and the scope of this commission. And what I thought would be useful and what I started to do was to take out sort of from the finalized document, there are about 10 action items that relate to the scope of this commission. Many of them we have addressed or started, not addressed, but started to do work on. Some of them we've not. And I think it's a matter, I think it would be good to, and I was going to take a stab at completing both these areas, my understanding, recollection, and also just awareness of what steps and areas that we've explored. I mean, like a lot of the emergency preparedness, 911, a lot of that work, and sort of list out what we've done And then as a commission, we can determine like, all right, well, these were the 10 areas that came out of it. This is kind of where what we've done over the last couple of years. What should we focus on? And we can make that my suggestion would be for the commission to sort of maybe explore like, all right, we can prioritize based upon that and other areas that people may want to do. At the same time, we can also consult with the city officials and ask them, again, here's the list from that study. Here's kind of what we've done on these areas thus far. Do you have any areas you would like us to particularly focus on? And that could help drive some of the work that, we individually can do on our own, or as a group we can do, and just kind of move forward on a couple of the other different initiatives. I think in looking at the list, there are some very low-hanging fruit that I think we can do, and then it's just a matter of complementing the work that has already been done. So just something, sort of next steps. So that's it.
Mhm. Hiram, actually, thank you. You reminded me that one of the takeaway items from previous meeting was emergency preparedness and also the emergency services. So to that extent, I visited the HHS and I also had a conversation with Ross Kimes. So two things. One is we need to. He's well with respect to the item 4. He actually is very anxious to like put in place ability maybe for his dispatchers to use our maps once we also get on the town council agenda, to equip part of the fleet for the EMS vehicles and for the police vehicles to get some of them satellite equipment. Then his dispatchers can actually use our maps and say, hey, I'm sending a vehicle. Let's say I'm sending EMS vehicle to an area that has a black, no coverage, no cell coverage. So then he can send a vehicle with the satellite connection. Or if he's sending it to the green area, then he can send a vehicle without it. So there's like a little bit of optimization. And sort of a more removed from that area, we were discussing if there is any type of service where people with maybe disabilities or, seniors, with disabilities, of course, if they're impacted by, let's say, outages, do we have any sort of registry or any services that can get maybe backpack generators to them if they have any electricity dependent equipment that they need, like, something that some sort of life supporting equipment or something like that needs to have continuous power or some cooling, heating, whatever that is. So it turns out they don't have anything like that at HHS, and Ross confirmed that they only have like something like 8 backpacks, which are low powered and, backpack generators. And there's really no way for people to get those things in case of emergency. So this is actually something that we might consider, some sort of a voluntary registry for priority support for people who need this continuous power supply. And we can figure out how it would work, what resources would be needed for that, to essentially establish some sort of a emergency priority support for people in case of a power outage.
Right. I think the city itself has a level of prioritization and understanding where services, it's important for services to be done, but at a personal level, that obviously is important for, that's,
Right.
that's something I think that would be valued. Obviously, there's some logistics and others involved, but I think that's completely right. And it actually is consistent with, just in terms of us going through that POCD report a little bit more, that actually kind of falls under a couple of areas. So,
Right.
so that all sounds great.
Well, according to HHS and Ross Kimes, there's nothing in place. They just
Yeah.
have those 8 backpacks. Nobody knows about them. And there's no systems. There's no testing, because, obviously what you would have to do is do some sort of a regular, dry runs, to make sure that people know where to go to deliver those things, who's dependent on what sort of equipment is needed by people. So there's nothing like that. So there's nothing in place.
Mhm.
So this is something we could maybe, and it's a difficult issue. It's super difficult. But that's one of the things that could be considered.
No, good information.
Mhm. Anything else for item 6?
Nope.
No? Okay. Commissioner reports.
Nothing to report here.
Are we gonna set a record and adjourn at 7:27?
27. We
Wow.
started at 7:06.
So I guess we should make a motion to adjourn.
Uh,
I second.
Yes, Bill.
Adjourn, Ron first, Bernie
Seconded.
second. All right, and it's
I'll vote yay.
We're adjourned.
we're adjourned, unanimous, right? You guys want to adjourn?
Unanimous.
Unanimous.
Okay.